All right, here with head football coach Paul Winters, looking ahead to the Findlay game. First, let's talk about the win at Walsh. The running game continues to be the bread and butter, just like how I picture you would want it. You want the running game to be the go-to. Talk about the stable running backs, even Rabia getting some carries, and then discuss the offensive line and their performance.
Well, it's important to note that we had a 3-1-3 sighting with our run game, so we always like to do that. The depth of the position is really strong for us, and that allowed us to do some things differently this past week. We had Deontay Nicholas playing a little receiver and running some of the stuff out of the receiver position. So that allowed us to use really our top three tailbacks, and then Robbie getting some carries was a bonus.
With 3 games left, it's kind of resembling last year, where it looks like you're starting to figure things out at the end of the season. With 3 games left, what are your goals for the team outside of just winning the games?
I think that that's always the goal, and I don't care statistically about anything else other than winning. So as long as we go out and continue to improve and continue to strive to get better, I'm pretty happy, and obviously all that means is going out and winning.
Team has had to overcome some big-time injuries, but you're at the 500 mark. Talk about the opportunity to finish strong despite that obstacle, and a little bit of that next man up mentality that you guys have had to take on.
I was really happy. This past week was maybe the biggest challenge we ever went into. When you lose basically your whole secondary going into a game, and you've got good players behind them, they're good players who probably haven't played as much, but what that does, it affects your team in a lot of different ways. Ronnie Brandt, Jimmy Hendricks, Laren Johnson were 3 really large special teams players for us, and so we really didn't have that component of our game. We were able to step up on the defensive backfield, but then you lose some really good players, and luckily we've got some really good players to step in some of those positions. So it's more of a scramble, and as we looked at it as coaches, we said let's just try to look at it as a positive. We get a chance to challenge ourselves a little bit, and make this a little bit more difficult. And I think our players took the idea that we're going to compete our rear ends off, and that's what they did.
Yeah, coming into that with a banged up secondary against a team that wants to throw it 50 times, they did a great job.
Well, we had some rain.
Yeah,
so,
muddied it up a little bit.
Yes.
You talked about causing turnovers last week. Would you say you accomplished that? The ball was loose a lot for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we didn't get as many as we liked, but we did knock it loose, and there were a lot of times where it was a big scramble, and it was an exciting thing to see who was getting the football. But we actually turned it over more than we received, so that's a negative.
Talk a little bit about what Findlay does well. Their quarterback is obviously prolific in the passing game, and what are some of the keys to victory?
Well, they do as well as anyone of spreading you out and running the football or throwing it, and they've got excellent receivers, and the quarterback's a very talented young man. And our key to victory over this football team is to get after their quarterback and really put a lot of pressure on him and make him turn the ball over. I think that's the key. And then offensively, we got to continue to move the football and continue to control the clock. I think we had 37 minutes last week. We need to do that again.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right.